Hello Internet, this is your VTuber stock report going into the new week of September 16th, 2024. I'm your host, Marko Yamashita. In recent news, Anycolor Inc., the parent company of VTuber agency Niji Sanji, released their Q1 2025 report. Despite missing the revenue and EPS forecast consensus by analysts and the IFIS, Anycolor saw their stock price surge over 12%, thanks in part to that revenue drop. Anycolor's target stock price has been the subject of much discussion among investors, including myself, as we felt that Anycolor's price forecast was significantly overvalued, since their stock performance frequently underperformed at market. When sizing up the company by looking at their price-to-book ratio and EPS forecast, this seemed to confirm our suspicions. However, despite these considerations, the IFIS and several US analysts continue to forecast Anycolor reaching the 4,800 yen mark sometime within this next fiscal year. And this might truly happen given the Tokyo Exchange shrugged off their Q1 miss and their stock continued their forward momentum into the last two trading sessions, rising over 12%. But outside influences are likely to play more of a pivotal role in the company's near-term future that could dampen those prospects. For this coming week, the US Federal Reserve is scheduled to meet, and while a confirmed number has not been released, they are likely to cut the federal interest rates. By how much is still unknown, but what we do know are two likely outcomes from this decision. In a report filed by the Shinkin Asset Management Company, stock prices and the Nikkei will heavily fluctuate this coming week regardless of the outcome. If the Fed cuts interest rates by 0.50%, the buying power of the yen increases, yet this also causes stock prices to fall. And while this might be a dream week for sellers and option traders, this also means stock prices will bottom out and value hunters will be able to pick up stock positions at a premium price. Moving on to Hololive's Cover Corporation, this company seems to be in a bit of a rut. The re-energized momentum experienced globally by the tech sector last week seems to have largely ignored the company, while rival companies like Anycolor managed to garner interest. In all fairness, Cover has found themselves in a difficult situation, especially in the last 2 months. Their Q1 report was released during the worst possible time as Japan's market reacted to the heavy sell-off of AI stocks. The worst market day in Japan's history since 1987 happened at the same time because the Bank of Japan unexpectedly raised their interest rates, which triggered what's now being dubbed the Great Unwinding of the Japanese currency. Since the beginning of August, Cover Corp's stock value has decreased by 7.58%. Now, this doesn't mean that the company is in financial trouble. Instead, investors seem to be largely dismissive of the company, given the return prospects for this year is essentially zero. Cover Corp doesn't seem particularly interested in making their public shares more attractive to investors. They've offered no stock buybacks, no dividends. The topic itself deserves its own video. However, suffice to say, Cover Corporation has its work cut out for them. It's easy to focus on quarterly highlights. However, zooming out to the larger picture, investors still seem to be skeptical about the company itself. For example, the launch window for Hollow Earth continues to be pushed back and delayed beyond the anticipated launch window here coming up by the end of the year. During their Q1 Q&A session, Yago stated, quote, "As far as development is concerned, we are keeping our teams as small as possible, but with a structure that builds on our strengths. Rather than suddenly expanding excessively, we are developing the minimum necessary functions as a minimum viable product, shortened to MVP, and gradually releasing them to see how users respond to them. We do not anticipate monetization to accelerate after the release, even after next year. We are currently selling avatar costumes on an experimental basis, but we have confirmed that our uniquely designed avatar costumes have generate a certain level of volume." Now, this is a startling revelation here, because Cover only employs 57 staff members for the entire project. There's only 57 people employed that work on the metaverse. And a lot of those employees have less than 2 years working on this project. Hollow Earth is a dense concept, essentially 3 types of games all bundled into one. And according to estimates, Cover has spent over 4 billion yen on this game by the end of December for this year. Yago has not made it known whether the loaned money they intend to use to pay for development is a one-time deal or if it's going to be a quarterly loan. So the pressure is on for them to produce results and hopefully a marketable product by the end of this year, 2024. Well, that's all we have for now. If you like the content, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. As a shareholder for both companies, I regularly monitor the financial news for both companies and tend to comment a lot on my channel regularly about what's going on. So give it some thought. You might like it. You might enjoy it. So that wraps it up. Please have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever the case is for you. This is Marko Yamashita, signing off. Peace.